Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports.
Cardinals Corner from Arizona Sports with Tyler Drake and Lauren Koval.
Bird Gang, welcome back to another episode of Cardinals Corner. Yes, Tyler Drake, Lauren Koval, we're back, but the bigger addition today is the return of Cardinals cornerback Elijah Jones. Yes. Welcome back, man. We're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
How's everything going with the offseason so far?
It's been nice. Just kind of be able to see all the moves and stuff like that, be a fan, see like the different positions, like acquisitions across the league, and it's happening really fast, so it's just fun to enjoy.
Yeah, and now being in this kind of realm of it, knowing that you're on an NFL team, you see all these. How much has that changed in just your thinking of like, oh man, now we got this guy, Yeah,
it's just funny just seeing like group chats with my friends and people texting me like, hey, have you seen this? Like, how do you feel about this? Like, for example, yesterday I didn't know about the Josh Sweat signing, until my nephew texted me and told me. And I was just, after I saw it, I was like, wow, like it's huge, of course, to add somebody like that. But just, again, seeing on the outside end, but still having like internal involvement behind it. So it's just fun being on both sides of it.
Yeah, definitely. And so this offseason, what have you been getting into? Because obviously, I'm assuming you're back in the lab getting after it, but what else have you been getting after?
Been on the golf course, man.
Oh,
okay. Haven't broken 100 yet. Flirting with it, But bought my first set of clubs. I'm out here just rehabbing, dealing with the injury I had last year and just trying to balance everything. And that's a great place to just relax and, have fun, competitive without being actually like active, So it's a good mix of both and just great golf courses out here. So it's nice to enjoy.
And how is that rehab coming along for you?
It's coming along well. It's a day-by-day thing, but just happy to be, back in the mold, back in routine, and just, attacking something again. And
you said same heel injury that you were dealing with last year?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And do you expect to be, good to go by training camp?
Yeah, so far everything's just been on plan. So it's been good so far. I feel like I'll be back for training camp.
Nice. Okay, let's get back to golf. We got to talk golf. All right, what's where are some of the courses you've been going to?
Camelback so far. Okay. The Phoenician has been really, Wow. But I played it like twice. It was too hard. It was too hard. But it was fun, competitive, and a lot of my teammates like the golf as well. So like rapping out, just text each other, hey, you want to go to the course and just go hit it.
Okay, I've heard Sean Murphy Bunting gets out there. Mm-hmm. I've heard Buddha gets out there.
Yeah.
Who's got the game right? Who's got the best game right now?
Up for debate. Everybody talks about it, but no one wants to see each other on the course. So we'll see. I feel like out the DB room, I feel like Buddha's up there a lot. Mm-hmm. Sean talks a big game. We'll see. But I'm decent. I feel like nobody's really like light years ahead of anybody else yet.
Yeah, I saw a video of Buddha playing the other day, and I was like, oh, he's got a better swing than I thought he was gonna have.
He's trying.
He was hitting it pretty good.
You happy flying under the radar there with your golf game right now?
Yeah. I feel like you always think that you're better than what you actually are until you play a harder course. So I don't want to just put my confidence out there like, hey, I'm this kind of good, and I go play this, 5-star difficulty course, and the next thing you know, I'm shooting double bogeys every hole, So like, I just came back from LA and I played one of these. It was like the rustic canyon course, and it was like extremely hard, like to the point where ready to break clubs, stuff like that. But it's another thing where it's just super challenging. You can see like really where you are.
Yeah, for sure. What kind of sticks you playing with?
I got some Cobras now. I've also used, like, my nephew plays a lot. He has blades. But, yeah.
Oh.
So.
Your nephew's probably pretty good then.
Yeah. He's what's motivated me to step my game up a little more because there's a lot of competitive nature behind us. So he's playing with those. I'm trying to get, like, enough to be able to beat my clubs up and then get to the blades.
Gotcha.
So
I got you.
You've got 1 year in Arizona now, under your belt. How are you feeling about being out here now?
I feel less like a tourist, I will say. It's nice just trying to find, like, I'm not a big out and about kind of guy. I like to just get some food. I'm a really big foodie. So finding, like, these food trucks out here have been, like, a huge thing for me. Just trying to expand on, like, finally got a couple of my taco spots. places where I get like some good seafood, you know, or like, of course, the steakhouses out here have been amazing, but just trying to find like some hole in the wall, like lesser known spots.
What's been one of your favorite spots to go to? Without giving away too many of your secrets.
No, so for food truck wise, Craven's food truck has been like huge. They always like pop up in areas pretty close to me, really good. Lines always not too long, but like really good Southern food. Same thing with this place called King's Plate, and they do other kind of like pop ups. Eat at CC's on Central. That has been a spot that's been pretty good, like New Orleans style kind of food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just kind of things like that, just low key food spots.
Nice. Any other stuff you go do out there in the valley, other than golf and food?
I don't know. I just find like there's no Pop Stroke in New York, so I just found out about that.
Okay, yeah.
So like that's been kind of fun, and I know that kind of goes back to golfing, but
no, it's a little different.
That's been kind of cool. And then I went to the botanical garden out here. That was like just
my
super,
wife just went there this morning.
Yeah. So that was just nice and super like earthy Arizona-y. My friend from high school came out here. We drove to Sedona.
Oh, cool.
Terrifying drive. I don't know how many times I'll do that again. But so just trying to, just get out there and do some more Arizonian stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Obviously, rookie season did not go the way you envisioned. Probably a lot of people envisioned. So this year, what are you hoping to accomplish? What are you hoping to show people getting back into it?
Yeah, just really showcase what I could do. I'm happy to be pushed by other corners in my class. I feel like there's been a lot of success in my position around the league. And even within our building, I think like Max had a really good year, So just be able to show that like I'm here as well, Last year was a big learning experience for me. And even though I wasn't able to be on the field, like being able to watch the game from on the field from like an end zone kind of view, because I would always just stay on either side of where the ball was and just be able to learn. Like I saw so much off the field that once I started, I did have a little practice window where I did come back for a little bit, and like I could just feel more comfortable out there from where I was, just like understanding the game wise. Because it is a bigger difference from college to NFL, not so much within like necessarily game speed, a little bit, yes, but like conceptually, timing wise, just like kind of the way the game is played, quarterbacks especially, just quarterback play is just huge. And just being able to feel more comfortable out there, just build some more confidence. And I felt more confident going back in, and I'm ready to just carry that through,
You guys had a pretty stacked cornerback room. That was drawing a lot of attention last season. What do you think of that room as a whole?
I feel like it's a great room to grow, like there's just so much potential in that room that's untapped because we're all so young, It was just great to have like, again, like a vet like Sean in there where he just relates so much to us. And it's not that like, sometimes it's never overbearing. It's always just understanding of like pouring into us, and again, even having a young coaching staff with like Smitty being our DC, who also is like very like technique based, and then Nick, our DC, who's also very, technically sound and leading everything, just JG down, and just very, planned out very well. And I feel like we have a good understanding of everything. I feel like we have, again, room to grow because we don't all have same qualities as players. So I do feel like we have a mixed bag where you can throw us all in different positions and you get different looks of what you want.
Yeah, you talked about that quality of that room and what everybody brings. What do you think your greatest strength is in that room?
For me, I love to use my mind. I'm a very tendency kind of sound person, so I like to be able to play the game within the game. I do have physical qualities that I feel like I do excel at, but for me, I feel like, you can't move fast if you don't know where you're going. So be able to think first and then be able to understand what is going on within the game, certain situations like, what do they like to do on third and short versus third and medium, certain formation and stuff like that. So I try to apply that from what we learned throughout the week into the game. Was
that nice then? Taking sort of, even though you were injured, but having that time off to sort of like test your mind and see what the NFL's like?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it was just, I know we classify as like a redshirt year, but just being able to still figure out how to prepare week to week without being able to play. So we would have like, if we came into the meeting room one of the days, like, and we're looking at the film, I'm trying to think of what the play they're going to run before we click it, even though I may not get my name called on and try to figure out, what's going on in the meeting. Like, just what can I bring them? Because one thing that I loved about, again, just kind of showing the characters of players that we have is that if they came off the sideline, like, sometimes I would get asked by certain players, like, hey, what do you see out there? And it's like, they trust me enough to be able to hear what my opinions are. So I want to be able to feel like I'm prepared enough to be able to give them what I see. So that was just a big thing, is just being able to try to just take everything I see and be able to apply it, even if I can't do it physically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And how much does it mean just to know that, the core of guys in that room is sticking around? Like there's not really anybody leaving anytime soon.
I believe, we just have something special building. I'm not putting any expectations or anything like that out there, of course, but I just feel like we have a core of what you want to see. We don't have personality issues. We don't have like people not gelling in the locker room, stuff like that. Within even like not just your pieces around, but from your main pieces. Like James Conner is one of the most upstanding people like I've ever met. Like
that's what everybody who comes in here says.
But like it's true, and I feel like you can't build him up like as much as I'm not doing it justice enough by like saying how great of a guy he is. Like first day, he may not even know your name yet, but he's coming up like, hey, I'm James, like how you doing, this, like just showing you by example, but also being able to like have a relationship with you just like as a person, and like just having guys like that. Same thing, Buddha, Sean, just other guys that just take you under, and it's not just like a mentorship, it's like a friendship, so just being able to have those qualities with people on the team, it just shows the kind of like relationship you can have within, and I feel like relationships inside also breed success.
Yeah,
that's
that
awesome.
makes sense.
Looking at just being at the training facility every day, who have you been seeing the most working out?
A lot of our rookie class.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of us just wanting to show face and being here, but I just want to show how hungry we are. I feel like a lot of reoccurring faces, even if people you may not see like necessarily in the building working out all the time, they're still in the area that still come in, whether if it's like treatment or just using like the part of the facilities like hot tub, sauna, whatever. But like a lot of people are still just in the area, so I can't really necessarily put it on one person. But our rookie class, a lot, like we're in there a lot. A lot.
What's it like for you? You had the little bit of practice window last season when you came back. You guys have a wide receiver room with a bunch of talented wide receivers in it, and you're going up against them. What's that like?
It's fun. It's challenging. It's different. Like it's different views, and you get to see everybody. Like even from the scout team guys, like Xavier Weaver giving us crazy looks.
I was just going to ask you about him, man. I was just about to ask him.
Like we've given us crazy looks throughout the week. I mean, even me going back, like you only have 75, 77 guys, like, or 65 guys comparing on practice squad and stuff like that. So like, if you're not a starter, you're going against the starters and giving the look. So, I'm out there first day, following Marv or Mike Wilson and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, well, let's see where I stand right now, and like, it's good because you get to test yourself against the best, it's the ones. And at the same time, it's like everyone is just getting each other better because there's no ego behind that. It's not like, oh, I got to go, be on the scout team. It's like, all right, cool. I get to go against, K1 and Marv and let's see what I got against it. Or like I'm going against Trey, let's see what we got. So it's really cool. We get to see like in the room, like, because at the same time, now that I'm, just for that little practice window, I'm still kind of feeling out like our receiver room because you see again the different kind of things and just how we use different kind of people. So it's just cool just to seeing the different styles and stuff like that within a room.
And with that, in that practice window, was it just something of, hey, you just didn't check enough boxes to be able to go the rest of the year?
Yeah.
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 Damn. Yeah. It's a bummer.
Yeah. But it was good enough to be able to separate the two. It wasn't a disappointment factor, I felt like. And then, again, going into the couple of weeks that I was practicing, just like the confidence I was able to build up from that, because even though essentially I didn't check all the boxes well enough to be able to come back for the season, to see where I was standing, even though I didn't check all the boxes, I was like, okay.
Yeah. You still took enough of a jump in your mind that, cool. Yeah, definitely. That's great. We were talking. You went to a Knicks game recently?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
It was great. It was great to see my team. Even though we didn't win, it was the first time seeing Luka live. I saw LeBron. It was crazy. LeBron and Luka both had 31 and 12. I want to say Brunson, before he got hurt, had 35. Went to an overtime game. crazy environment. Still called the Staples Center. Can't be a crypto, but
No, I'm totally with you. No.
Still a Staples. But it was just, it was a great time. And just being able to, like, again, off season, just being able to enjoy the perks of off season. Yeah. Being able to be like, okay, on the Thursday, I could take this weekend and be able to go do, I don't have mat drills in the morning. I don't have to worry about class on Friday or whatever. I can just do what I got to do and then come back. So it was cool.
Did you got out of town a little bit?
Yeah.
Outside of LA?
Yeah, outside of LA. mostly just been back to New York.
Cool.
Always great to, see family, stuff like that. And then I miss seasons a little bit. Not gonna lie, a little vegetation.
It's been bad this year too.
You won't get used to it.
No, and I felt that because like the first warm day, I want to say in like February, it automatically just brought me back to like it's gonna be 118 in 3 months. So
in no time.
So just enjoying this while I can, before it really comes down.
Yeah, that makes sense. The next box to check. We're in NFL free agency right now. Next thing coming up, draft. I mean, that's what everybody's talking about. Paris sat over here and basically pleaded for them to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
And basically Marvin said he himself said he was going to be a Cardinal.
Yeah, it's like I texted him right here. Come on. Is there anybody you're keeping your eye on in the draft this year?
Overall, we had a DN from my school, Donovan Ezaraku, who had 16 and a half sacks this past year. And, I mean, again, seeing him come in as a freshman and be able to see where he is now is, like, amazing. Can't wait to see where he goes. And then just throughout, like, I feel like this is one of the early drafts where we have no idea where anyone is going. Mm-hmm. I feel like at least last year you kind of had an understanding that Caleb was probably going to go number one, and then it was, like, where you follow after that. But I mean, this year's wide open.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what direction teams want to go. Like, Tennessee's talked about, like, well, people have had speculations on what Tennessee is going to do and other teams, and now we're seeing free agent signings. Like, for example, Justin Fields going to the Jets and stuff like that. So may not go certain directions that people thought that other people were going to go. So it's just exciting to see, like, how it's all playing out and that, like, I can at least have a better understanding from at least being in the situation now, seeing how things can play out.
Is the draft for you like an event? Will you like sit down and watch the draft, or will you just like catch up later?
I'll always watch the first round. And then, actually, I'll probably watch the whole draft this year. Yeah, I'll probably watch the whole draft this year. It's a lot easier like on day 2 and day 3 than it is the first round. I mean, you got like 15 minutes before each pick, and they wait all day for each pick to go through.
And there's like a mariachi band on stage, and you're like, this has nothing to do with the draft.
I'm basically bringing a sleeping bag and a blow-up mattress to the training facility because I'll be there every day for the draft, and it'll be an all-day event for sure.
Enjoy.
Embrace that. I don't envy you.
All right, dude. I know that you've got the musical background, so I've got to ask you this question. And I hope it's not crazy. We had a really funny moment last episode with you and Max. We won't get too far into it because that was a little bit can't post that one. But Drake or K-Dot?
Okay. So
I've been waiting to ask you this the whole time.
Who won, in my opinion? Kendrick won. Now, who would I rather listen to? I think on a day-to-day basis, I'd rather listen to Drake more.
Okay.
Now, like, Kendrick, I respect everything he does with, like, his production and all, like, the stuff where his, subliminal messages and everything with, like, how it's a whole overall, like, experience and stuff. But I don't always want to have to think so much.
Yeah.
I could just go in the car and just, cut views on, and whatever song comes on the album I'll listen to. It's cool. So overall, I just like Drake better. But throughout the whole back and forth, Kendrick definitely. It's Super Bowl performance. You can't beat a diss record at a Super Bowl performance. It's just kind of.
Yeah, that was definitely. Yeah, and then everybody singing along too.
It's just tough to come back from, And then you drop a song for album for, club records and stuff like that afterwards, kind of just proving the point of before. But.
Had to come in here the next day and do a lot of explaining as to what everything meant.
Yeah.
So I was
you really did. Yeah.
Here we go.
You really had to get the hosts on track of the whole situation.
Oh, yeah. On air, we're having like a Q&A session about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Lot to take in. Yes.
Even from the standpoint like Serena Williams being there, I was like, why is Serena there? I'm just like,
that was the most just like That's Serena.
Yeah, literally.
Well, she had gotten in trouble years earlier at a tournament for doing it.
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Yep. I loved it.
No,
I loved it.
It was great.
Yep.
All right, it is March. It is March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're a St. John's fan yourself.
There we go. Thank you.
What are you thinking they're going to do in the tournament this year?
Well, I have St. John's Final Four. I feel like...
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing about Rip Pitino, because this goes back to Louisville. All right. So, like, those, for example, he won with, like, Russ Smith, Peyton Silva. You know, then he had, like, the Montrezl Harrell, Donovan Mitchell, a couple of teams. But, like, Rip Pitino, I felt like, has never had, like, one of those all 5-star, you know, like those Kentucky Duke classes that come in crazy. But he's always, like, been productive. Like, he'll beat you with his team, your team, and then he'll beat you with, like, his lesser teams. For example, he was at Iona, won, I want to say, 2 conference titles at Iona before going to St. John's. And then at St. John's, you're going up against, like, UConn, Marquette. Like, Big East is, you know, super tough in these past couple of years. So it's just good to see St. John's come back around. Especially with, like, NIL and stuff like that, where everybody's transferring. It's just, like, crazy to kind of see, like, team building and how it's so much parity within college basketball. But I love Rip Pitino. I mean, like, he's been the guy in the city. He's been, you know, he's been so credited for such a long time. It's just good to see, like, a good team back in New York, you know.
It's also nice to see a team that isn't like those Dukes and like those
the big
Kentucky.
Blues, Kansas, and all that stuff. It's like, it's time, you know. It's just time. It's nice.
Usher in a new wave here. Yeah.
Well, like, you've even had, for example, you know, Creighton's been, I know that hasn't been, like, nationally recognized, but, like, you know, you saw Creighton's been, like, really good. Nova, again, with the Nova boys, won 2 natties. Just like, you see it expanding more, but the light isn't shined as bright as, like, again, the big Blues. So it's just good to see the competition within the other schools. And then the SEC basketball this year has been, like, insane. Yeah. So to even see who comes out of that is just going to be crazy. So it's going to be a good year for college basketball.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Well, Elijah, I think that's all the questions we've got for you today, man. We really appreciate you stopping back again. Always a pleasure to have you stopping in. So thank you. Again, you can follow myself at TDrake for Sports. You can follow Lauren at Colville_Lauren. Follow the show at AZ Cards Corner. And yes, free agency is still going on. Make sure you tune to Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and ArizonaSports.com for the latest news coming for the Cardinals and for just about every other NFL team right now, because it's wild out there. But we will be back next week, and we will see you soon.